If you're taking the LSAT in January or February, it's not too late to apply to law school this cycle. Today, I'll share with you how you can leverage the law school application timeline and recent LSAT changes to get a top LSAT score and apply this cycle if you're taking the LSAT in January, February, or beyond. For those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Now, there are a lot of people out there sharing outdated information telling you that if you can't apply to law school in September, you might as well wait an entire year. I'm here to tell you that is wrong, that is outdated, and it is totally fine to apply to law school in February. The January LSAT's not too late, and the February LSAT is not too late. Now, it may have been the case 10, 15, 20 years ago that February was too late and you wanted to apply in September or October at the latest, but things have shifted in recent years. It used to be that the LSAT was offered only 4 times a year. It's now offered 8 times a year. The law school admissions timeline has shifted later and later over time, given all the recent changes to the LSAT format and the law school application process, given format changes to affirmative action. Law schools have decided to hold off more and more on making decisions due to all the perceived ambiguity around how things would shake out. Given all of these changes over the past 2 years, the move of the LSAT from being in-person to online, from the flex format to the removal of logic games, to the Supreme Court's banning of affirmative action, law schools like to take a conservative wait-and-see approach, meaning they want to see who else is going to come along in the applicant pool. What all of this means for you is that there is no rush to apply earlier if another couple of months of LSAT studying would allow you to apply to law school with a higher LSAT score. The short answer being, it's better to apply in January or February with a higher score than earlier with a lower score. Now, of course, all else being equal, better to apply earlier than later, but the thing is, all else is rarely equal because oftentimes another month or 2 or 3 of additional LSAT studying can get you a significant boost in your score. And of course, consider there's also a big opportunity cost to waiting an entire year, missing out on the income as an attorney versus what you're currently getting now in your current position. Now, the removal of the logic game section is a massive benefit to you taking the LSAT. Now, I don't think people realize what a massive opportunity you have to study for the LSAT now that logic games is no longer on the test. For those who aren't aware, the LSAT used to contain 3 sections: logic games, logical reasoning, and reading comp. LSAT recently replaced the logic games section with a second scored logical reasoning section, meaning there is now less material for you to study. You can double down your focus on logical reasoning, focus your energies there, and any gains you make in your understanding of logical reasoning will be doubled across the 2 sections. Now, I know there are roughly 15 different types of logical reasoning questions. A lot of LSAT prep textbooks will overly focus on these categorizations, but the thing is that logical reasoning is first and foremost a test of pattern recognition of a limited set of methods of reasoning, and not all logical reasoning question types show up with equal frequency, meaning some are more common than others. The 3 biggest areas to focus on are necessary assumption, inference, and flaw. I would master those before focusing on the less common question types. Now, if all this is seeming kind of overwhelming, I totally get you on that. You want to have a structured plan of attack to remove the guesswork regarding what to do and when. This is why at LSAT Unplugged, we create personalized day-by-day study plans for all of our students, orienting your prep, and we pair that with private one-on-one coaching, ideally on a weekly basis if you're taking the LSAT in the next few months, say for the January or February LSAT. So if you're interested in finding out more about joining our programs, you can check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. Now, timeline-wise, January LSAT scores come back February 5th. February LSAT scores come back February 26th. If you can get your application essays in a row and get everything sent in when scores come back a few weeks after you take the LSAT, you're applying totally fine. This cycle, again, it is not too late. So don't stress if you weren't able to take the LSAT in November and you're worrying, what will I do over these next few months? My answer is take full advantage of these next few months to study for the LSAT, drill your weak areas on the side, take full-length practice tests on a consistent basis, ideally every week, if you've already built that strong foundation in the different sections and the different question types, because of course you want to move on from drilling questions by type to doing timed individual sections to work on your pacing, and then of course pull it all together with full-length practice tests. If you are procrastinating from taking the practice tests, I would recommend don't delay, because it's not just getting the questions right, it's about getting them right under test day conditions. Anyway, folks, that's all for now. And in the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.